Hi everyone, welcome to day 11 of our 21 Days of Pilates challenge. Today's a really fun one. We're doing Pilates at your desk, so you'll see my mat is gone and it's been replaced by a chair. This is a workshop that I run for corporately. Obviously haven't done it for a while now. 45 minutes normally. We're going to look at some key exercises in 10 minutes that you can do at your desk. When I was putting the challenge together, I wanted to make sure that there was some really useful stuff in there for you as well. It's great to do Pilates to switch off, but it's also really good to know how you can take it into life and use it every day. That's the whole point, I always think. So healthy backs, posture and Pilates at your desk is tailored to do just that. So let's have some fun with this. You'll need a chair. So just obviously caution, I'm using a stationary chair, and if you're doing this on a chair that moves, it's not going to work. So no wheels or anything like that. Just be careful. Find a stationary chair. You don't have to do it on like an office chair. You can do it on a sofa chair or something, whatever you've got at home that you want to try it out on. So yeah, let's get going. Come to your chair and let's look at how we sit. So I'm just going to speak to you about how you organise your spine when you sit. So I got into a lot of trouble with my lower back because I didn't sit properly in my seat. So I know all about this. Ideally, you're looking for hip distance and parallel with the legs, and you want to be up on top of your sit bones. So again, remember we spoke earlier in the challenge about how you can clear the flesh away to find your sit bones and then try and sit up on top of them. What I used to do was lean forward and then my tailbone was behind me and I was into my lumbar spine there. So try and avoid that. You've got to think of your core working to keep you down and on top of your sit bones, and then you're going to stack your spine. So it's head on top of your shoulders. You're going to have your ear ideally over your shoulder, but listen, we're not rigid about this. There is no such thing as a perfect posture. There's just models of what things should look like. So what we're saying when we say ear over the shoulder is we just draw the neck back from the text neck. Yeah, so just reset the neck. So head over shoulders, shoulders over your ribs, and then your ribs, of course, just gently drawing in towards one another on top of your pelvis. You should be quite relaxed here on your sit bones. Your core should be working those deep intrinsic muscles, those little muscles closest to the spine, the ones we work in Pilates all the time, should be working for you here. The opposite, of course, is when you lean back and you lose your curves. That's no good either. So that's why we kind of want to be up and on those sit bones. From there, lengthen up through the crown of the head. Take both hands, pop them on your thighs, and press into the hands into the thighs, and use that as a little traction to help give you that lift and that lengthen through the spine just to start off with. Breath into the ribs, let the ribs yawn. So remember your breathing in Pilates, when we talk about breathing into the rib cage, it's looking to stretch those intercostal muscles. That's how you get mobility as well into that upper mid back, just by using your breath. It's a stretch in itself. And then as you exhale, the ribs draw back together. It's never forced. They just gently melt back in. They're kind of knitting in towards one another on top of the pelvis there. So up tall, no sit bones, spine stacked, lengthening through the crown of the head, hip distance and parallel, feet even, hands on the thighs. We'll take another breath there. Breath into the ribs. Stretch that rib cage area and then exhale through the mouth. Just feel your belly button drawing in to support you as you sit. Good work there. We're going to do some shoulder shrugs. So you're going to draw the shoulders up to your ears and then you're going to let them drop down. And this time we're going to take a breath in and then exhale. Let them drop down. So breath in, raise the shoulders to your ears, exhale, drop them down. And same again, breath in, shoulders to the ears, drop down. Just let it go. And then drop one ear to your shoulder. So if I do it the other way, this way, so ear to shoulder. So you're stretching the opposite side of your neck all the time. You're working to keep up on those sit bones, so gentle engagement through your core. And then you're going to rotate your eye gaze to look towards your thigh, opposite thigh. And then rotate your neck to center. And then restack that head back over your shoulders. Other side, drop your ear to your shoulder. Rotate, so get a good stretch there. You should feel it stretch when you rotate it as well. Bring it to center and bring your head back up on top of the spine. Same again, ear to shoulder, opposite side is being stretched. Take a little rotation, so look towards your opposite thigh, center, and up. Last one. Feel a nice stretch. I feel a nice stretch there. Rotate to the eye gaze to the thigh, center, and then restack all the way back up. Good work. Bring your hands up behind your head. Release your head into your hands, just a little rotation here. So elbows wide, and you're just going to rotate one way. So one rib is coming forward. This is rotation. We know this now. One rib's coming forward, one rib's moving behind, wide with the elbows, back to center, and the other side. And then all the way back center. Think about that. One more each side. So head, neck, upper, mid, back rotates. Back to center. Think of that belly button to spine. And the other way. And all the way back. Bring the arms up. Stretch, stretch, stretch all the way back down. Bring the hands up in front of you. We're going to flex and extend. Flex. So press out through the heel and then draw the hands in. Make little fists here with the hands. So you're stretching the front of the wrists. We forget about our wrists, but our wrists do. Fingers and toes, they never really stop, do they? Good. Really press out. So see if you can straighten the arms. Pressing out and in. Good work. And then bringing the hands down. Turning our attention to the feet, we're going to do a little march of the feet. So keeping the balls of the feet down, you're just going to lift your toes, all 10 toes, if you've got them, off the mat, and then bring them down, lift the heels. So a little march, lift the toes, down, heels, down, toes, down, heels, down. Now we're going to really challenge our coordination. So we're going to alternate. So pick toes up of one foot and the heel of the other, and then see if you can march the feet in opposite ways. So I should say as well, when we're doing this, the eye gaze should be straight ahead. Try not to look down. The temptation is to look down. Oh, I think I might have lost it there. No, we're okay. The temptation is to look down to see what's happening. Try and sense it. Try and feel what's happening. And remember, it's fun. It's not meant to be serious. Gets the brain going though. I think that's it. Good, down. So that's marching feet. From there, you're going to flex and extend the knee. So kick out through the heel to get a stretch down the back. And then on the next one, we're going to keep that leg out, soft point, and you're going to just do little circles of the ankles and move the toes as well. So a little articulation of your toes. Find the sticky spots. Like you can see, I've got a real sticky spot on my left side. And then switch direction with the toes moving. Little Mexican wave. Big fan of the Mexican wave. Still on the sit bones, still drawing in the belly button. Oh, and leg back down, other side, point. So ankle mobility, foot mobility, so important for overall good joint mechanics. So if you're sitting again at your desk, it's good. You can just pick the feet up and circle them whenever you want. Little move through the toes each way. Just do a few each side, just to keep everything going, the blood pumping, blood flow going, and down from there. We're going to do a little seated rotation again. So you can use your hands for this. You're going to slide one hand down the thigh. Use it as a little traction. So press into that thigh. Take a little rotation. So you might feel a few cracks here. Back to center. And then other side. So draw one hand back. One hand goes forward, inside thigh. Press into that leg and use it to help you rotate the rib cage round. And back to center from there. Bring the arms up behind the head. Take a little extension. So I find this really challenging because I want to kind of just instantly go into my low back here. So again, think of heavy on the sit bones, hands behind the head, widen the elbows. Again, if you're tight in the shoulders, this might feel uncomfortable. So just bring the elbows to where you feel that it's okay for them to be. You're going to shine your heart up. So you're extending. Think of stretching from like the belly button up. Keep heavy on the sit bones. Shine your heart to the sky. Back to your start position, bring the elbows in, and then like a little mini roll down through the spine. And then restart, same again, open the elbows wide, shine your heart up to the sky, keep down on the sit bones, so really just think of moving, extending upper mid back, rest of the spine stays quiet really, arms in, chin to chest, little roll down, restack and then press those arms away, take the hands up, take a big stretch down from there. Keep the arms to the side. we're going to take a little arm swing. So you're just going to swing your arms. Now this is obviously going to massively depend on what sort of chair you're in. So if you're in a chair with arms, this might not work for you, but it might, so give it a try. And then we're just going to bring our head into it as well. So you're getting a little bit of neck rotation, a bit of movement in the shoulders, and I'm also moving my feet, so you can bring your feet into it, your little marching feet, and be careful with the neck because it can get a bit dizzy. So still the neck, and just continue with the arms, moving back and forward. There we go, nothing to it really, and then stilling down there. Glute stretch, so one ankle over the knee, you're going to just lean forward, so keep the spine nice and long. As you reach forward, you'll feel the stretch around the glute, around the hip. Watch for this rounding. We're trying to kind of work against that heart forward. Feel to the point where you get that nice stretch through the hip. And then you can just restack your spine from there. You can take that on the other side. So this is figure of 4 stretch. We do this a lot on our backs in the mat class to stretch around the glute and the hip. So this is how to do it seated. This is a nice one to do if you're on the phone and nobody can see you, or it's not the phone now anymore, it's Teams and Zoom, isn't it? Turn your camera off, tell them you're stretching. Keep that heart forward, long spine, and then just come into restack from there. Hip hinge. So you're just going to snap at the hips with a tall spine. So snap and bend forward. So you're just flexing at your hips, but you're keeping your spine long, so no rounding. So bend in, see if you can get your chest to your thighs, and then you're just going to restack the spine. So you'll feel your sit bones widen, come back onto the sit bones. Same again, so just flex at your hips. Your sit bones will start to part here. Keep the long spine, so no rounding, keep shining your heart forward. And then just sit back up. So your sit bones will draw back in towards one another. They move, your sit bones. Last little one here. Flexing, and then you're going to restack. And the last little bit of work is squats. So you're going to take a split stance here. You're going to come out of your chair without momentum. So cross the arms over the body, draw that belly button into spine. So use your core to help you here. Forward, and then press up, open your hips, and then reach your bum behind you to sit back down. Try and keep the legs parallel, so knees facing forward. Watch for any rolling in, rolling out, open. It's a good little test. You can also split the stance. So if you're parallel, take the feet a little bit wider than hip distance, sorry. So as you've got a little bit of a more secure base of support, reach that bum behind you, sit back down, come back onto your sit bones, get used to that feeling of being on your sit bones, make friends with them. They are your friend when you're seated. Sit bones wide. So this is Pilates squat. Again, we do this in mat work, so you can see, oh, there's a crack for you. One of the ways in which it becomes useful. This is a really good functional move. Any sort of squatting, lunging, planking are all good functional moves for everyday movement and down. And then of course we're going to come into just a normal squat. So bring the feet back to parallel and into your normal squat. So use the glutes to open your hips, draw that belly button into spine, reach that bum behind you, restack. So it's a really nice one to practice. If you're not really familiar with a squat, this is a really good one for feedback to give you that sense of how the body kind of unravels, opens and closes, because it's kind of almost like an opening and closing. So we're open here, and then we're kind of closing here. Reach the bum behind, last one. So watch for any rolling in through the feet or through the legs. And that is our little Pilates at your desk sequence. Hope you find it useful. A good one to share with anybody that you work with, potentially that might be suffering a little bit of musculoskeletal aches and pains or repetitive strain injuries, whatever, from all our home working. And also a really good one to save. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments if you found anything useful, if you recognised any of them from the mat work, and I'll see you back here tomorrow. Bye.